Hi, I'm Izzy and welcome to the Gleeson First Time Buyer podcast. We've created this podcast to help you on your home ownership journey and we'll be covering everything from interior tips to finance advice and everything in between, with some amazing guests joining us along the way. You'll be able to find our podcast on all the most common streaming services, but also on our YouTube channel, which you can find by searching Gleeson Homes. In today's episode, I'm joined by my marketing team colleague Alicia, who manages our brand ambassador scheme. So, Alicia, welcome to our podcast. It's a bit different from sitting next to each other in the office, but introduce yourself and explain why you're our guest today.
So I'm Alicia. I am a member of the marketing team alongside Izzy. We, both of us, look after all of the kind of brand marketing that you see. So that's like the look and feel of the brand, including the logo, the messaging, how the brand looks on our developments and the signage. Then we also look after all of the kind of digital touch points and content. So how the website looks, photography, videography and podcasts like you're listening to today. And then also social media and our brand ambassador scheme. So I'm here to talk to you today about that because we've got 10 brand ambassadors and we're a bit sad because 2 of them are leaving us, aren't they?
They're leaving the group, which is sad, but...
Yeah, moving on to pastures new. So, yeah, 2 of our brand ambassadors are actually selling their houses, which is really exciting because we're all about helping people get onto the property ladder for the first time, aren't we? So, they both were first-time buyers and are now moving into their second home, which is exciting. But obviously it leaves us with 2 less brand ambassadors. We're here to talk about filling them.
So why do we have... If you could tell our listeners why we have brand ambassadors, so kind of what do the brand ambassadors do and on what jobs do they kind of have to do as a brand ambassador?
So the brand ambassadors, we started the scheme in February 2021. The reason we did that was because we have got so many Instagram accounts which are made about Gleeson Homes. Yeah. So our customers have made those accounts to showcase tips for their home, their interior styling, and we just thought it was brilliant. And some of the brand ambassadors, well, people who had got those accounts, we thought would make a perfect brand ambassador because they were already promoting the benefits of home ownership and why a Gleeson home is great on their Instagrams. Some of the accounts had started to get quite a decent amount of followers, so we thought, do you know what, these people are really authentic, they actually live in a Gleeson home, why would we not work with them to create content?
Yeah, bringing them all together and kind of creating a bit of a online community.
Yeah, so obviously there's already the Gleeson hashtags, so hashtag Gleeson Homes, hashtag Gleeson Homes community.
There's a lot of hashtags.
There's a lot of hashtags, so we were kind of searching on there and we just picked people that we thought would be great for representing the brand.
Is there a criteria at all for being a brand ambassador?
Yeah, so to be a brand ambassador, we usually like to have told your story already or be in the process of telling your story. So we'll like to do what we call a case study, but really it's just a blog about you and your home. Yeah. So me and Izzy write those, don't we? Which is fun to write.
Yeah, it's nice to learn about like the people that we work with as well. So they're not just an Instagram account. You get to kind of learn the people behind the ambassadors. Yeah. So if they've got dogs, if they've got children, and their like story behind before moving into the Gleeson home.
Yeah, so we normally find people through Instagram and we'll reach out to them and say, would you like to tell your story? And then we we send them some questions to answer, don't we? Or we'll interview them on the phone. And then we can just kind of gauge from that whether they would make a good brand ambassador and whether their story's interesting. So kind of once that stage has been done, we'll then basically decide whether we think that they're right. But that's kind of how the first brand ambassadors worked. So we initially had 4 and then it's grown to 10. And we got people to actually apply the second time we were recruiting, didn't we? Yeah. So people basically applied by DMing us on Instagram. But yeah, so to become a brand ambassador, you need to have kind of done a case study so we know a little bit more about you. And then we usually say have 2,000 followers or more. Yeah. Just so we know that you've kind of built your following already a little bit.
Yeah. You have to be active to be a brand ambassador and kind of have the whole package of...
Yeah, making sure you post regularly,
Yeah.
Posting about things which are relevant to your home. So it would be someone who had made a specific account about their home. It can't just be, my name's Izzy and I've got an Instagram.
Yeah. Or TikTok, if anyone has any TikTok content. That's also, we're growing our TikTok page as well. So any brand ambassadors that are good with creating TikTok videos.
You're really good at TikToks, aren't you?
Yeah, I try to. We've put a few of the behind the scenes of our podcasts with our ambassadors Liv and Tom on our TikTok, sorry. So yeah, any TikTok stars, that would be quite good as well.
Yeah, so in a nutshell, need to have 2,000 followers or more, live in a Gleeson home, and be moved in to their home. So we've had a few people ask if they can be an ambassador if they are currently in the build process, but we like people to have moved in so we can actually get life as a homeowner.
So if people tick all these boxes and they want to join the ambassador team, how do they do that? Do they drop us a DM, or what's the process of applying to be a brand ambassador?
Yeah, so we're going to start with 2 of our brand ambassadors leaving and moving to pastures new. We're going to start recruiting for 2 more. So to do so, we would like people to apply. If you've already applied and then we've kind of not ended up going with you the first 2 times we've looked for brand ambassadors, don't be disheartened. It's just because we have had so many applicants. So still, please do apply again, and we will definitely consider you. But yeah, so just either drop us a DM on Instagram and tell us you're interested, or you can email us and me or Izzy will reply. But yeah, so we would like to find 2 more brand ambassadors. So if you are interested, please do apply.
Yeah. So now we've got all the nitty gritty of how to apply out the way. Let's talk about our lovely, lovely brand ambassadors who hopefully will all be listening. What do you love most about our fabulous brand ambassadors?
Well, we do have a laugh, don't we? It's quite good. We're trying to organise a night out at the minute. But I just love that they also believe in Gleeson. Because we do a lot of hard work, don't we, to promote the fact that we can help young first-time buyers get on the property ladder in a really good quality home at an affordable price. And I think the brand ambassadors are all testament of that, and they all believe in that as well, don't they? They really do. They
love their homes.
Yeah, they love their homes. They love the fact that they've been able to get on to the property ladder, because buying a house is really difficult for young people. And yeah, they are proof that Gleeson can make that happen for you. And some of them had been in rented houses, or they'd been living with their parents. So all their stories are a little bit different. And some of them, 2 of them are second-time buyers. But they all have kind of a good story, which shows how home ownership is achievable. But yeah, we do have a good laugh, don't we?
Yeah.
We have
a
group
WhatsApp
chat.
The WhatsApp chat. I have to say, sometimes I do have it muted, but if I don't go on it for a couple of hours, I come back sometimes and there's like 200 messages and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, we're all pals. I feel like when we go on our night out, that'll be really good.
We'll just have to put our phones away though, like no Instagram, no social media for a group that uses social media.
I know. Well, after the podcast we filmed with Tom and Liv, we went for dinner, didn't we?
We did. We treated them to
TGI's, and they were like ordering cocktails. Me and Izzy were on the Diet Coke.
I know. It was. I wish I was a brand ambassador sometimes.
I know. But yeah, they do get some good perks. So for being a brand ambassador, we send them regular gifts, things like that. And at the end of the month, if they've fulfilled the brief, which they all always do, so they're good. They get a retailer voucher to say thank you. But yeah, we send them a brief at the start of the month. I'm digressing, but this is how it works. We send them a brief at the start of the month. Me and Izzy normally come up with the posts that we'd like them to do. There's 4 posts. Sometimes they're stories. Sometimes they're, most of the time they're grid posts, but sometimes we do stories, don't we?
The podcast one we did was a story when we were pushing
launching the podcast,
we got them, which they all loved doing because they were all like, oh, our pals, Liv
Yeah.
and Tom on the launch of the podcast.
Yeah, we were like proud mums, weren't we?
Yeah.
So they do 4 posts a month. Normally they're about an array of different things. So one might be about how it felt the day they got the keys. Show us the options that you chose. What's your favourite room in your house? Those type of things, and they'll create a post based on that. And a
few reels sometimes, so like house tour reels, or how would you dress your, I don't know, bedside table, anything really.
But 9 times out of 10, it does just fit into the content that they'd already be posting anyway, doesn't it? Yeah. Because they're already posting that type of thing. So, yeah, it works well.
It does. So what are the key things you would like to say to our homeowner community?
Keep creating content. I think we're just really proud to see the homes that our customers create, aren't we?
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like we just sit on Instagram all day. We don't. Our job's very busy. But when we do get to actually sit and look at content, it's always really good. And most people that follow us that live in a Gleeson home will have received a message from me or Izzy saying, can we use your pictures?
I love seeing the pictures that people post when they're, well, in our last podcast we were talking to Peter about the build stages. So at the final build stage, when you can kind of go and you see the home with your little sold sign on, and people could take the photo. I think there's one on the way up actually that we just saw of someone getting all excited that the house is kind of up, and it's those first pictures I think where it's the start of your Instagram account, and it's just so exciting, and it's nice to kind of see those on Instagram and kind of being shared.
Yeah, definitely. I think if I bought a new build, I would probably be one of those people that make an account just to document it myself.
Definitely.
And I think it's so exciting.
Because when you move in, obviously it is a blank canvas, so whatever you're making it your own from the start. So it's like that journey on Instagram from the start to whenever you're in, it's just the perfect reason to create an Instagram account. I mean, I've got one of my dog from when she was a puppy to growing up, but like now that she's grown up, I love her to pieces, but the content's all the same. Whereas with a house, it's just ever changing. Like you can change I remember Tom was talking about how he's changing his decoration all the time.
Yeah, he's been in like 5 years, so he's had like all sorts of different decor. But I think that's the best thing about buying new. You can just switch it up whenever you want.
Exactly.
Because you've not got years of old wallpaper under the walls, and you've not got old carpet to rip up. And
trust me, you don't want to be ripping up old carpet.
You've got a reno, haven't you?
Yeah, and I'm already on a search on keeping my ears and eyes open for when the next Sheffield development's coming out.
Every time there's a development in Sheffield, which is where we're based, we're like, oh my God.
It's our time.
I know, there's some nice developments in Chesterfield, there isn't there?
Yeah,
lovely ones, which isn't too far. But yeah, so the main things I'd like to say
back to track
to the community is just thank you for creating the really good content and showcasing your home, because you know our key things are helping first time buyers onto the property ladder, and those that go and make an account, you're just supporting us on our mission to help show people that they can buy a home that they love, that so many of our customers were renting and they never thought they could buy a house, and they've found that their mortgage is more affordable than their previous rent was, and just things like that. When you see those little stories, it's really rewarding. If
you want to just summarise what someone who is looking to be a brand ambassador for Gleeson Homes can do, how do they apply, where do they go to, just a quick summarise.
So to summarise, if you want to be a brand ambassador, or you want to feature on our blog, or you want to create any UGC for us, that was a marketing term, sorry, user generated content. If you want to create any content for us, you can just message us at gleeson.homes on Instagram, or email, and we will get back to you and go from there. We'd probably just want to have a quick chat, just over message, and then
you never know, you might be on the next podcast.
You might. But it's a really exciting time to be a part of Gleeson and to be part of the brand ambassador scheme. At the end of the day, you're helping other people on their home ownership journey, which is a great feeling.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for joining me today to talk about our brand ambassadors. Hope you've enjoyed yourself.
It was good. I'm normally behind the scenes, but it was good.
We brought you to the front. In our next episode, we'll be joined by one of our friends at Meridian Mortgages, who will be talking to you about all things mortgages. So if you have any questions, or if you want anything covered specifically in our next podcast, don't hesitate to drop us a message on our Instagram at gleeson.homes. Also, give us a follow to see some interior imagery and more homeowner tips. See you next week.